Hey golfers, Jack Spencer here, Practical Golf for All. Today I'd like to talk about fairway woods and hybrids because they're very similar. Before you get started, if you watch these videos and you happen to like them, please, hit like, hit share. It just gives me a little bit of feedback that, I'm not spinning my wheels here. Because I really think that some of the information is pretty good. I want to talk too, I want to harp on equipment, but I want to emphasize the fact that when you pull a club out of your bag, you need to have confidence in it. I have a 17-degree driving iron here. It's a wonderful club. I love the club. I rarely put it in my bag because I just don't have confidence in it in any aspect other than off the tee. Maybe in a fairway if I'm on a gentle upslope, or maybe if I'm in the first cut because it seems like the ball's sitting up a little bit. But those instances are so rare. My point is that for me to put this in my bag, I have to take something out of my bag that I do feel confident in. And the same way with I have two identical 3-woods here, so to speak. Same shaft flex, same length, same loft, 15.5 degrees, same shaft weight. This one I have far less confidence in than this one. This one's the one that's in my bag. As far as my hybrid's concerned, and I think everybody should have a hybrid in their bag, and depending on your skill level and handicap, maybe a few of them, because they're an easier club to hit. They pass through bad lies more readily than a long iron. I've had this hybrid cut down an inch. Why? Because I'm not trying to hit this ball 300 yards with this hybrid. What I want to do is when I get it out of my bag, I want to know that I can control it in any aspect that I try to do, whether it be, a fade, a draw, whatever. And the main thing I want to talk about today is, other than comfort with your club, is ball position. You got your 3-wood here, you're going to use it off the tee once in a while. If the wind's behind you, it's a lot easier to draw this club than it is a driver. If it's a tight hole, it's supposedly easier to control. And one thing I would like to mention, the faster you swing, the bigger your misses. I mean, the same discrepancy at impact in club path or club face in a 70-mile-an-hour swing is going to be far more pronounced than somebody like these long drivers that are swinging 140 or 145. The 70-mile-an-hour guy is probably going to find his ball unless he really misses it. The 145 guy, if he misses it by the same amount, that ball's going to need a passport to land wherever it eventually winds up. So anyway, so we got our 3-wood here. Very versatile. You can use it off the tee on certain instances and off the fairway. The thing you need to do is find your point of impact where it brushes the ground. And just find a flat spot, in the closely mown area and take a swing. You'll see where the grass brushes from your swing. Do it a couple times just so it's, if you're using this off the tee, you want to tee the ball a little bit on the upswing, right where the grass is not being brushed anymore, towards the target. It helps to elevate it, maximizes your distance, and that's the purpose of why you're using a 3-wood off the tee. If you're using it off the really tightly mown stuff, you want to put that ball just before where that brushing action occurs. And general rule of thumb for me is, from the tee, it's like right at the little logo or whatever on your golf shirt, and off the tightly mown fairway, it's a little more medial, kind of right where your heart is, ever so slightly, but it does make a difference. If it's off the, the first cut, if your course happens to have a first cut, I actually prefer that for this particular club because it's almost like it's on a little bit of a tee. But ball position, it's a small thing, but it's something that really shouldn't be overlooked. Same way with the hybrid, what you'll notice though with your hybrid is that little brushing action is going to occur a little bit more towards the center of your stance. But you basically, you want to catch that ball right before it starts to brush the grass. When you're playing golf, and I want to stress, you play golf. Like, don't play golf, swing, play golf. Say you hit your tee ball and it's in a little bit of rough, there's some grass around it, and you're 200 yards from the green, and you know, your 3-wood is your 200-yard club, and your hybrid is your 175 or 180 club. So you think, well, I'm 200 yards, I'm gonna hit a 3-wood. Don't. The fact of the matter is when this 3-wood tries to pass through that thicker grass, it's gonna grab the club head, twist it a little bit, slow it down, both. This is gonna be, instead of your 200-yard club, this is gonna become your like 160-yard club, and Lord knows where it might wind up. Whereas here, with your hybrid, which is normally your 180, 175, 180 club, because there's a little grass behind the ball, you're gonna get a little bit of a flyer, it's not gonna have nearly as much spin on it. You're probably gonna hit this, you know, 170, 175, maybe 180, and it'll roll up to the 200 yards. So it's a role reversal. You know, your 200-yard club becomes your 160-yard club, and your 180-yard club, 175, 180 becomes your 200-yard club. So think a little bit, and it doesn't take a lot of time to do that. Just evaluate it as you're walking up to the ball, and then make the appropriate club selection, because that's why you have different clubs in your bag, different clubs for different purposes. Now, one good thing about a hybrid is because of the design, it'll cut through that kind of stuff and, you know, facilitate a much better hit than a less lofted fairway would. The other thing, I don't know if you have a lot of fairway bunkers at your course or not, but it's basically the same principle. I would not recommend that most of us hit a 15-degree fairway wood out of a fairway bunker. Maybe if there's no lip at all, but it's still a difficult shot. You know, get a hybrid. If you don't want to hit an 18-degree hybrid and you have a 21 in your bag or whatever, you know, take a more lofted one. And then the same thing. Know that you need to strike ball first. And the one thing you don't want to do with either one of these clubs is feel like you have to kill it. That's the death knell to using these clubs off the fairway or the rough. If you have to, and there's nothing wrong with this, if you have to, just choke down on it an inch or so. Shorten it up a little bit if it's your 3-wood. I mean, I don't have to do that with my hybrid because it's already cut down. But, you know, if I promise you, it's not going to knock that much distance off of this club, but it might exponentially increase your confidence in pulling off the shot. You know, 5 or 10 yards less is not nearly as bad as 30 yards off center. Just a thought. They're really not that difficult. You know, we all get into funk sometimes, and we struggle with hitting certain clubs. When you do that, just go back to the basics and check. You know, where is this club bottoming out? Where do I see the grass being brushed? When I use it, am I putting the ball in the proper position according to where that grass is being brushed? And you know, am I trying to kill it? Am I jumping out of it? A good rule of thumb, I think, for either one of these clubs, and probably about every club in your bag, is just imagine you're swinging like a 7 or 8 iron. You know, you pull your 3-wood out of the bag and you think, all right, you know, I'm basically hitting a 7 iron here. Let's just use that. Swing. That way you're not going to jump at it and come over the top of it and hit a worm burner and things like that. Just a thought, you know, keep it simple. Again, please like, share. I hope you're enjoying these videos. I actually put a little cover over that one light. You know, I'm trying to improve them all the time. You guys take care.